You want to make sure that you don't get caught in a lurch when it comes to hiring someone. Hey leaders, I wanted to give a secondary part of hiring that I talked about 2 weeks ago in your leadership tip. One of the things that I highly recommend is you doing a continual talent search. Yes, that's what I call them, as talent searches, because you should always be on the lookout for talent. You want to make sure that you don't get caught in a lurch when it comes to hiring someone. Maybe someone suddenly has to leave your office or they suddenly quit. Now you're in a lurch because you got to start that hiring process all over again. It's not only a disservice to you because of the mental weight that it takes upon you, but it's a disservice to your team. And your team should be fully aware that you're always looking for new talent. One reason is definitely so they understand that you're always looking for something. They don't have you, they're not holding you over a barrel, if you will. That if they leave, that they're replaceable. And the fact of the matter is, I know it sounds harsh, but everyone except for you is replaceable. And so to let them know, just by knowing there's always a talent search, you're always searching for talent. Number one, to give that little bit of understanding in the back of their head, hey, I want to be the best at my job so that I don't get replaced. Number two is the side of that is saying, hey, I know people who might want to be a part of this team, and if it comes up in conversation with my friends or when I'm out with someone, then I can tell them, oh yeah, my company's always looking for good talent, so that helps out there. But the real reason why I want you to have a continual talent search, and I'll explain how to do that in just a moment, is so that you're giving them peace of mind that if someone suddenly leaves, all of a sudden they don't have double the work. So that if someone up and leaves, that all of a sudden you're not worried about, oh my gosh, how am I going to handle this? More people, more pressure. You're not going to drop the ball when it comes to customer service. You're not going to drop the ball when it comes to team service. So how do you do that? Well, I highly recommend doing a quarterly talent search. That every quarter, on a certain time of the month, every quarter, that your team sends out those ads either through Indeed or ZipRecruiter, I don't know what Envision is, or even if you do Craigslist, but you have a continual talent search. Now use the principles I taught you on the last video, or the video 2 times ago, when it comes to what to put in that ad, but you want to have that continual talent search, and you want to put it out there and say, hey, we're looking at maybe only do it for a week every quarter, maybe 2 weeks every quarter. Boost it, make sure it gets a lot of noise, and therefore you're getting applications brought in or resumes sent in to you, because you're going to use the hiring process, the filtering process, that I talked about last time. You're going to be able to look at those really fast to see which ones you're going to print out and save and which ones you're not. Now, if someone actually calls in or emails you back saying, hey, I sent you my resume, I'm really interested in that job, number one, good. We want people who are excited about it. But number two, you just simply have a form letter that says, hey, here at Dino Watt Company, we are always looking for great talent, and we will definitely let you know if we want to do a Skype interview with you. And just make it a form letter, simple, or if they call in, same type of thing, just have a script for your team to be able to say. And just make sure that they know that that's what, and people aren't going to be upset about it. That's not normally works. You'll be surprised how many people will not even follow up with you because they just sent you a random email, right? Or a random resume. But have that listed, and then, have those resumes printed out and put in a file, so that when it comes, maybe you're in the middle of that quarter and somebody comes in and has to leave you, or you have to let somebody go. First of all, you're empowered, right? Because you know you've got a pile of people who want to work for you. So if that person who you're thinking, should be fired, and the person you're like, yeah, they're probably really not a fit, but I don't want to have to go through that process again, and the pain of the process isn't bad enough, doesn't outweigh the pain of that person, so you stop yourself from doing it. When you have that, you're more empowered and be like, you know what? I got a group of people who want to work with me, so I don't have to put up with this, and I get to let that person, I get to love that person into another job, right? I get to let them move on to their next adventure in life, and that's great. But now you've got this pile of people, and let's just say you do this 3 quarters in a row. You can go back to all of those people who passed the first test with you, right? The first screening test, and you can reach out to them and say, hey, you sent in your resume 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Are you still interested in working with our company? You'll be surprised how many people get a temporary, in the meantime, job while they're waiting for that job to come along. Now, hopefully they have reached out to you a couple of times. I'm going to use the example of Zappos.com as a great example of a company that they actually have a whole department set up for when people send them resumes, which they get sent to them all the time. They're doing a talent search all the time. So when they send them the resumes, they will actually track who has followed up with them how many times, because it's showing them, hey, these guys are serious. They really want to work for our company. That's the first step. Enthusiasm. I will take enthusiasm over talent anytime. And repeat that again. I want you to get that if you can find somebody who's that enthusiastic to work for you, that's more important than a talent, because we can actually teach them what we need them to do. The skill set we can teach them. But if they're enthusiastic about it, that's really important. So now you've got this set of resumes that people have sent into you, and now you're not starting from zero like it always feels like you're starting when it comes to having to go through that new hiring process again. You've got a set of talent right here. So use that continual talent search over and over again. Just make it a part of the system. It goes onto your calendar that, okay, and put somebody in charge of your office to send out the really well-written copy, right, of that email or that ad, because we talked about that before, and send it out there. You can also resend it out to people that maybe you had thought about hiring before and they didn't get on board, or maybe they wanted to get hired before and they get on board. You're always looking for a talent search, always. And if you do that, it's going to give you peace of mind, it gives your team peace of mind, and it does not put you starting from zero all over again. I hope that serves you, and I hope that you're able to implement that as soon as possible. I promise you, you will be happy you did. Thanks. Talk to you later.